the economy clearly no longer needs as much stimulus as we've been giving it.
That's why today the Bank of Canada raised its key interest rate for the first time in 7 years.
Interest rates are still very low. So people need to understand that in the full course of time, I don't doubt that interest rates will move higher.
Strong GDP growth, positive job numbers, and other economic indicators have given the bank confidence the Canadian economy is finally on the right track, and that the bank no longer needs the ultra-low rates to help spur growth.
I do think it signals the end of an era.
This economist says while this rate increase is small, it likely won't be the last.
We've seen housing strong, consumer spending more generally strong, but with that we've also seen debt moving up. So you want growth to broaden out, to be more sustainable.
Good news for savers who will make more money in interest, but right away the cost of borrowing has jumped for things like variable rate mortgages and lines of credit.
People may have become accustomed to this low interest rate environment and a certain lifestyle that's been able to afford them, and it may be hard to unwind that as interest rates start to increase.
Ideally, or at the same time.
And that's part of the new reality for this Montreal area family. They're thinking about a line of credit to renovate the home they bought last year, but are being cautious.
It affects our budget for sure. Whichever way you look at it, it's going to increase your mortgage payments eventually. Right now we're lucky enough to be on a fixed for the next couple of years, but eventually when we renew it, it won't be the same rate.
For years, Canadians have been warned about record debt levels and the risk if rates were to rise.
Got some good ones for me.
It's a warning this Toronto homebuyer has taken to heart. He's looking to buy a home now with low rates, but budgeting for higher rates down the road.
Kind of just to make sure that we are not playing out at our edges in terms of capacity, so that kind of when things change, we can kind of manage it in some way or another.
Canada's big banks have already begun to pass on today's hike to consumers. The central bank's next rate announcement will be in September. And today it clearly signaled that interest rates will continue to rise, but wouldn't say exactly when. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, Toronto.